Welcome everybody, it's Unstoppable Stelezzi here, and I'm going to be doing another Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition Age of the World Mod Civ overview. So, this time, what I figured we could do is do the Yoruba. Yeah, the Yoruba Civ. As you know, they do get a bit of reference in the Definitive Edition game itself as part of a native that you can actually access his alliance as well as part of the House of Civ, but they ended up making him into a full-blown Civ in Age of the World. So, what does this Civ have exactly? What are the cards like? What are the units like? What are the main features? That's what I'm going to give you an idea of today. Now, this is a very strong Civ. Like a really strong Civ. At least for right now, it's like a really strong Civ. So, let's go over the cards first. But we really won't see until the gameplay why they're such a scary Civ to go up against. They are literally insane. Yeah, we'll see that in just a little bit. But first, let's go over all the cards and everything. So these are the Age 1 cards. 2 villagers. These are your everyday African villagers. Nothing too special about them besides the fact that they're villagers and they gather resources and stuff. Got some cattle here that you can use. You got resource crates, including influence, since you're African. Isuzu costs 250 coin, but grants you 25 coin per unit you currently control. So what does this mean? For every unit you have on the map currently, it's going to give you 25 coin. Yeah, so if you do a little math in terms of well, here's the thing. I never tried this card out before. I really haven't, so I don't know if it includes villagers or just military units. I'm presuming when they say unit, I would think just all the units, right? Even native warriors, because if that's the case, you could really use this as a great booster card. Yeah, very strong one. You would probably want at least a decent stack of units, I think, to really get the most out of it, you know? You don't want to send it too early as part of a build order, I think, unless something is discovered probably by Goimistan or someone about that. But yeah, seems interesting. I should probably try it a bit more. We got advanced port here, nothing too different about that. Ife, divination. All technologies research notably faster, including age-ups. So your age-ups will be faster, and all technology researches you do will be improved as well, basically. So, literally everything you research will be improved. And now we got another new card, too. Yoruba Mythology. Units and buildings grant a much larger XP bounty when trained and built, respectively. So, you want to have a much more unit spam? Well, use this. Use this, definitely. Especially when it comes to spamming shipments. You know, getting crates out, units, technologies from the home city. This is really good for that, basically. So, yep. And then we got cocoa crops. Grants a steady trickle of food, which grants you more resources the more coin you have stockpiled. So, I guess the way this is supposed to work, I haven't really experimented with before. I'm not Spirit of the Law. I don't have the spirit nor the law to do it. But basically, the more coin you have at the moment you send this card is going to multiply the effectiveness of the food trickle that you get from it. I don't know by what degree, if there's a cap on that. You're going to have to experiment that with your in like a team game or an FFA or something and tell me, you know, how good is this ramp up, basically. Because if it ramps up pretty well, you know, I could see this as maybe being a good treaty card, you know, wait until you have like 50,000 coin or something, and then dropping the huge giant food trickle on top of that, and then, you know, you don't even need food gatherers anymore. You could just stick them all on coin or something. Yeah, sounds pretty good. Fish market, sawmill, ironmonger, hardwoods. All cards we're pretty used to at this point, except for this one. Owo Nina. When this shipment arrives, all your gold is exchanged for an equal amount of influence. So if you want influence, this is the best way to get it. It's a one-time deal, though, so make it count. And then you got Furrier, and now we get into the H2 stuff. More villagers, more crates, cattle, Yoruba wrestling. All short duration units. So this is a copy of the one you get at the Yoruba native site in the regular Definitive Edition game. Keep 25% of their hit points and lose them less quickly. But here's the catch. ESO riders, which are a trainable unit for your Yoruba Civ, just like they would be for the native site, no longer lose HP at all. So, yeah, that's pretty good. This is even more effective than the Yoruba's native tech, for wrestling. So, if you like using ESO riders, these are going to be really good for you to make them actually last. So that's good. Trade builders, mass levies, Uba townships. The Uba gains vastly increased hit points and respawns much faster. The Uba is your explorer, just so you're aware of that. Expert blacksmithing. Unit upgrades become cheaper and research much faster, so if you want to cycle through all your upgrades very quickly, this is a good way to get that going, pretty much. Infinite 2 camp builders. This is always useful, no matter what African Civ gets it. Ishu charms. Units get increased hit points when near huts. Very nice defensive bonus. Team Trade Empire. African healers. Yoruba basketry. Villagers gather faster from Yoruba fields, berry bushes, and hunted animals. So, basically it's going to improve a lot of your gather rate pretty much. So that's good. Rendering plant, medicine, draft oxen. Now this is an interesting one. Herbalism. Villagers gather food from berry bushes and Yoruba fields faster. Units heal slowly when close to trees or berry bushes. So what does this mean? Well, from what it sounds like, if your units are really injured, just retreat them near the forest and they will heal. I don't know by what rate. It sounds kind of interesting, I have the card in my deck and I've never really truly experimented with it enough to understand, alright, what's the rate of healing? But, unless you're in like a desert map, you're going to have trees around, I think, that you can fall back to get the healing done. So that's good. Tobacco trade. Villagers gain coin faster from Yoruba fields. That's pretty solid. Desert Archer shipment, always a good shipment. I really like it with the Ethiopians, but you could totally use it here too. I have it in my deck actually. Some battle canoes, a lot of naval stuff that we're used to. In terms of influence support units, you got the Berber camels, you got the conquistadores, and you got the Sudanese allies. A bit of an overlap with the Moroccans, but that's not too much of an issue. Cavalry damage. Yoruba Oyo legionaries. You remember these guys from the native side, right? They function basically the same way as they do with the native site. You got Yoruba spearmen. These are basically just spearmen who are also Yoruba. Yep, basically some decent pikemen. Got some infantry upgrade cards here. And then we go on to age 3. More crates. You got the cattle. So this gives you about 8 cattle with the livestock market builder. So that should be pretty efficient, right? We got a covered wagon here. We got a Sebastopol, just like Ethiopia has. Now you got this card too. Mejile. Oyo legionaries. Onikoyes. Izo riders and the Oba's attacks now inflict poison on their enemies. So if you like Jungle Bowman and the poison effect, this will give a good number of your units that same property too, so that's strong. Ivory carvings increases the influence generation of plazas by themselves. Villager contribution is not increased. And then we got leatherworking. Infantry gain extra siege armor and cavalry gain extra melee armor. So basically, in Wars of Liberty, all the assault cavalry, right? Heavy amounts of hand armor that makes them good for fighting muskets and stuff. Well, on the cavalry side, it's basically going to make your cav a bit better for dealing with things like bayonets, spears, and sabers from other horses, basically. So that's good. And then for your infantry, they're going to actually be able to survive, I think, mostly grenade throws, things of that nature. But even a falconet, they might not necessarily die now to a falconet shot where they might have before. Quite substantial. Feudal armies is something all the African civs get. A bouquet badan. Each plaza spawns a healer. So if you like healing, you're going to like this card. In fact, we got another shipment of healers. Tier 2, which is perfect. The Abona, as they're called. Adds 3 build limit to them. So you can have even more healers to heal you up. Sweden. Sounds a lot like Sweden, but it's Sweden. What's the difference between Sweden and Sweden, might you ask? Well, Sweden is where you get IKEA furniture, very tall blonde women, and meatballs. Sweden allows your villagers to gather faster from Yoruba fields, both food and coin. So you might lose some coin buying IKEA furniture you have to assemble yourself, but this will actually get you more coin and some food, Just not the Swedish meatballs, maybe some African meatballs or something. Oro Association. All villager gather rates improve. So this is basically a fancy schmancy later game eco theory that improves your stuff by 15% instead of just 10%. Which, the rates are not bad. 15% is the same as food silos in age. Actually, sustainable agriculture in age 2 for food. So, 15% is not horrible, especially when it's literally every gather rate you're doing, Yeah, and then you got Loyal Warriors. This is pretty standard. Some more ship stuff. For support, same thing. You got the Somalis here, so again, a bit of overlap with the Moroccans. Maybe you'll get some new stuff going down the road when they add more West African civs in. Who knows at this point? Yoruba Iso riders. Quick training cavalry, as you know, that lose hit points over time, but they attack faster as they lose hit points. These guys are basically both hand cavalry and Minutemen at the same time, unless you, of course, send this card here, the Yoruba Wrestling, and then they become a little bit more longer lasting, But they still keep their property of attacking faster when they lose damage, right? So if you get barred up by a bunch of dragoons or something, they're definitely going to attack pretty quickly regardless. Also, we have the Iso Ikoyis. These are basically just javelin cavalry, pretty much. Nothing too different about them. Another shipment here of the same unit, Iso Ikoyi. And interestingly enough, I don't know, what's the difference between this and this? Maybe this is a bug or something, who knows? Iso Ikoyi, so... Well, wait a second, it says the Iso Ikoyi is a ranged cavalry that's effective against cavalry. Oh yeah, I remember now, these are like a rifle rider unit that the Yoruba can use. So this is like a rifle rider, and this is more of like a javelin rider. Right, so these are like the standard dragoons that you recognize with all the African civs in the vanilla game. And these guys are more like a rifle rider. Alright, I haven't used Yoruba in a while, so, I'm a bit fuzzy on some of the exact logics of their units. But I remember it now. Yeah, this is just a rifle rider. So basically, if you're fighting muskets or hussars or falcons, go with these. These are going to be really reliable for you. And you're going to find a lot of the Yoruba units are pretty strong, too. As we go down the list, cavalry combat, more legionary shipments, more spearmen shipments, Onikoyis, legendary Yoruba warrior with both a powerful hand and siege attack. So basically, from what I remember, these are more or less like a Yoruba halberdier of some kind. And then you got the Oyo hunters, skirmisher with a long range attack but low hit points. So basically your Yoruba skirms, infantry combat, and then you got the Yoruba cannoneers. Now, this is a pretty scary unit you can get early in the game, too, in Age 2. These are basically a long-range unit that has crush damage, and I believe multipliers against Artie, too. Yeah. Think of, like, the old Wars of Liberty sailors with their crush damage. These are basically a replica of those. They're a total cancer to deal with. Absolutely. You don't want to mess with these guys. They're very dangerous. They've ruined so many games of mine in the past. Unless you're using them, then definitely use them. Now, here's another unit you want to watch out for. Sudanese Rhino Riders. Sudanese Rhino Riders that absorb They attack with the Rhino itself to deal heavy siege damage. Also has a strong hand attack. So literal Rhino Cavalry. Rhino Cavalry. Using actual rhinos. Forget about the war elephants. You don't want to be dealing with the rhino charging at you, do you? No. Now, question is, how does the man on top stay on the rhino without falling off exactly? You know what I mean? Now, at least with the elephants, you know, you have a bit of control of them and stuff, but I would feel like a rhino is very unpredictable, right? Because it doesn't take a lot to set off a rhino and have them jumping around and stuff. So they must have very strong legs, I think, to stay on the rhino's back. At least that's what I think. Infinite villagers, crates, sebastopol. Age of the World likes to reuse artillery a lot of the time where it can, unless it's like a native or Asian civ usually. Native treaties. Yoruba market women. Resets the market buy and sell rates. Animal exchange rates recover faster. And resource exchange rates improve. So basically makes all your market activities better. You also get the advanced livestock market as well, which sort of does a lot of the same things really. So you can do this and this to really make your livestock market a really good market in general for your purchases. Royal fortifications, you know what this does. Same thing with kola nut cultivation. Basically, as you're working on the field, you're going to be trickling a little bit of wood as well, pretty much. Escaries, some more ships. Support stuff is basically the same with the Berber camels. Basically all the units we've went over so far here, nothing too new. So, you know what I was thinking we could do? Let's take, you know, one of these decks I have here. It doesn't really matter which one exactly. And we could try it against a enemy AI of some kind. Yeah. See what happens, you know. Let's try this one. This one I think is one of, actually the first one I've ever used before. If I recall correctly, that's been saved into my game. So we'll try this one now. Alright, let's give it a go. Let's go into a skirmish. Who will we face? Why don't we face the Hausa? You know, our other West African friends. See how they do. And in terms of a map, we will go to Africa. Where in Africa exactly? The Gold Coast. Yeah, I like this map. It's literally based off of a map that also exists in Wars of Liberty as well. So this one I always have a lot of fun on. So we'll do this one. And we should be good. Let me just change some of these things back to normal. Free for all. Nope. Put this on medium. We want extreme, right? Because we're really like our challenging AIs. We'll do that. Alright, let's give it a go. Queen Amina. I've never faced against a house AI before. Actually, no, I did it a long time ago. What am I saying? Alright, so now, first thing you want to do with Hausa, start spamming these things all over the place, these plazas. Basically, these plazas will generate influence for free over time. And they're totally free to build as well. Literally, like, you could literally spam these buildings right at the start with one villager, and then you're going to generate so much influence from it. This is why I said the Civ is very sus, like, really sus. Like, you never run out of influence as a Civ. You're always going to have it in your back pocket. And to boot, you know, this map does have Akan natives on it, so, of course, you're going to be able to... We even have ourselves here. We can even ally with ourselves. Look at that. How convenient. We can ally with ourselves. And we're going to put one more of these plazas over here too. And we're going to get a lot of resources out of this. A whole lot of them, actually. Where's our villager at? Right over there? Let's look for some treasures. See what we can find. Go down here. What do we got here? Lions. Get some wood from that. Also, we're going to want to get a house up now. As you can see with a lot of these newer African civs introduced into the Age of the World mod, They do feel a bit more normal, I think, macro-wise than the African civs that the DE team added, the Ethiopians and the Hausa, because if I recall correctly, when you play as the Hausa and the Ethiopians, literally the first thing that happens in your game is there's a cow there, and the African villager literally just punches the cow for no reason, like, bruh, why'd you punch me? And then they literally eat the cow instead of getting food crates, which I always thought was a weird mechanic, actually. But here it seems like these African civs, like the Yoruba, the Moroccans, at least from the start, have a bit of a more normalish beginning in general, yeah. So, if you like more standard old school gameplay, I would say play some of these Age of the World African civs and see if you like them. Like the old Days of the Wars of Liberty African civs, the Egyptians, the Zulu, the Ethiopians from that mod. So, yeah. That's why I sort of like Age of the World. It takes a lot of the stuff from Wars of Liberty and just makes it, modernizes it a bit and adds even more cool malls to it, because, hey, back in the day, you would have to wait a pretty long time for the Wars of Liberty team to get a nice new building model out because of all the limitations in the old game. But it seems like all this stuff in Age of the World is just so easy for them to pop out, The Inuit buildings, the Egyptian buildings, the Yoruba buildings, the everybody buildings. There's just so many cool-looking buildings in Age of the World. It's like the sky's the limit in this mod. It's really great, actually. Oh, yeah. So you do have lots of cool allies here you can go with. You got the Akan and Hausa that you recognize from the Legacy game. But we also have the Dahomey, the Amaros, and the Benim. Benim basically doesn't give us, let's see here. Gunpowder trade, gunpowder troops gain increased damage to all their actions. Goats. This will give you some blowgunners, and their techs reduces all influence costs. We might actually get that one. And free the slaves. Transforms all villagers into levied bowmen. And then you got the Yoruba here. They will basically give you Dahomey artwork. Buildings grant additional XP when built. Vodun practices. Villagers gain a chance to dodge attacks. So basically makes you immune to things like hussar raids, even minor musketeer attacks and stuff. And will unlock the Dahomey Amazons too for you to train. So let's give the Amaros a go first. I think these ones are pretty popular with me, if I remember from the past when I used to play against people. So we'll get that going now. This is basically a copy of a granary, so yes, it does include the hunting and the farming technologies here too. So definitely keep that in mind. Let's look for any natural resources around here, and then we can try to park our plazas on top of those. So yeah, let's put one over here next. Maybe one right in this spot. Right over here. That should be good. Let's see if there's any other hunts or mines around here that we can put our plazas under. That'd be perfect. I don't really care about this AI too much. I mean, you've seen in the past when I play these Age of the World civs that I get humbled pretty quickly by them a lot of the time, but this time we're really not going to have too much of a problem. At least I don't think so. We should have a pretty easy time against this AI, even just, taking extra time to do stuff. So let's maybe go with our deck here. I probably should have done that a bit sooner, but who cares? We definitely have the advantage, and you'll see why in a little bit. I'll get Yoruba mythology now, I think. So we can basically get some really good bounty going and really get our other shipments very fast and easy. Food treasure there. So here we go. We will get a native embassy right in this spot. Now, first thing you want to build as soon as possible. Usually try to get your palace. We do not have a coin for that, so we're going to have to trade a bit, I think. Let's get a little bit over here. Yeah, let's get a little bit of that. Do have some extra food. Unfortunately, some of the code for the native embassies in Age of the World does need to be updated, This thing is just sort of a prop here that we can mostly use for the natives on the map. Right, which is still pretty useful, We just have to go over here and ally with these ones. But yeah, I'm going to try to get my palace up like right now, right over here. Looks just like the buildings in the native site, actually, so that's pretty cool. Let's get wood, something good to start with, and then if we need any defense in a pinch, we can get the desert archers, I'm thinking. Now, let's ally with both of these. Because we're making so much influence right now, it's not even funny. Like, we are doing so good right now in influence. Look at how much we already got. We're already really ringing in the profits here. It's not even a joke. Not even a joke. And this is why Yoruba is such a scary civ to go against. You know, they can do so many things so easily, you know. Probably like an S tier civ, actually, you know. If you really put it on paper and all the stuff they can do. They're really like an S tier civ in this thing. It's kind of insane, actually, all the things that Yoruba can pull off. So what we're going to get now is probably get some of these blowgunners here. These do not cost any population. That's in general what happens in Age of the World with any sort of influence unit you get through an alliance is they will not cost any population. They're really just a extra unit you can add to your main army. They'll give you some supports, you know. So definitely take advantage of that when you can. We're going to get another hut here. Hopefully the native sites are coming in, right? Yep. We will also get some of these, let's get the rhinos. The rhinos, really good shock and awe unit. They're really good for wiping out enemy infantry. Quite well, actually. We'll also get the snares, too. Yep, so these are our blowgunners. Very similar stats to the Carib blowgunners. So, really good multipliers against infantry. Very good anti-infantry units. And then we'll add the rhinos in, too. Why don't we get coin? Why don't we get a cavalry attack? Let's get our stats up. I think this is about the time we do that. So we already got some blowgunners here, and we're also going to add in some of these native allies too. We can get the Oyo legionaries in as well. Yep. Actually, let's get the Echinocobias. That might be good. Basically, because we're picking a West African map like this means we won't even need to actually ally with the Econ at all if we actually want their unit. So that's good. Yep, we also see that the Fulani have showed up, just like the House of Civ can do. But we're probably going to stick to the more unique stuff, I think. That'll be a bit more interesting for us, at least for now. Let's get some coin there. Get some rhinos. You also got a barracks building and a stable building too, so that's pretty unique for an African Civ in Definitive Edition. You get a barracks and a stable. As you know, with the Ethiopians in Hausa, you just have the war camp, right? So the infantry and cav is trained in the same place. Not the case for the Hausa. They got separate buildings with separate roles, which gives them a bit of sophistication more than, you know, some of the other Civs has with their military roster structure and stuff, basically. And it kind of deviates a bit from the norm that's always been the case with African Civs in Age of Empires 3 mods, right? Because if you go back to the days of Wars of Liberty, you had combined infantry and cavalry with the garrison, cantonment, and the palace. So it's very strange when you see a Civ from the African culture using the barracks and stable system, pretty much, yeah. Let's get javelin riders. We could get some of these legionaries here. We'll get some Econs. We're already probably getting power strength over our AI friend here pretty easily. Actually, no. Let's back up a bit. Let's give ourselves a bit of time. I think. These Econ. Yeah. Wish he wasn't targeting that one because I kind of want to get some units out of here first. That's all right. We'll take it back. It'll be totally fine. Totally legit. Alright, get some of these in. That's gonna happen. I think we should be good now. What do you think? Let's give it a go. So what has he got? Mostly hand cavalry. They're not going to stand against these rhinos. I'm telling you that right now. Look at this right here. Look at these rhinos, what they do to stuff. These things are literally insane, man. Insane in the membrane. Very powerful. Look at these rhinos. There's nothing you can do to deal with these things once they get on top of you. They got some really good hand attack and some really good area of effect. 2.5 area of effect, that's nothing to laugh at. That is very substantial. You're going to be able to do a lot with that, really. And then while that's being done, we're going to get some more plazas up, right? We're going to put a plaza pry over here. Let's try to just mass them up around this spot, I think. That might be good. And then we can get our last one probably over here. Yep. That way we can max out our influence for this age. And we can really start to get some really good units out. You'll get some rhinos. And we will get some more legionaries, yeah. Could try to get our desert archers out too now. That would be good. AI does not like the fact that we're right up here, so he's trying to chase us away now. Yeah. Alright. Yep, just back off, man. You do not want to mess with these rhinos. They will get you with their frontal horn there very easily. Let's see. Where's the villager at? Villager, you're supposed to build all this stuff too. Get to work. Rhinos. We can get some spearmen to deal with the cavalry. We can get some javelin riders too. Let's get the wrestling, so that way we can start to do some Isa riders too. Get some houses. We don't even have a livestock market yet, which I'm a little bit surprised by, but once we get some wood, we might be able to get that too. Mostly concerned with getting a decent army size here to deal with the enemy. Now let's ally with you again. We definitely like a kind of Cobias, so we would love to use them in our army if possible. As you can see, the influence rate is pretty good. Pretty good for this. Very strong, actually. More blowgunners. Start working on that wood there. We can also use this to improve our hero. Start to get economy cards too, which I really like. Get some more of these blowgunners. These things work really well with our heavy rhinos. I could show you the cannoneers now if you like. These guys are pretty strong. Let's get another house going. We'll make a few of the cannoneers right now. Yeah, the Yoruba roster is very solid. It gets a lot done very easily, as you can see. This man does not like this native site at all. He keeps going in this direction, and we cannot let that stand. We need to punish it now so he stops coming through here. Alright, so let's deal with that. Look at all the javelin riders we got here to deal with his cavalry. Quite insane, actually. Rhinos, very tanky unit, good for taking the frontal charge. We'll get some more of them here. We'll get some of you to join in the front. So these are the cannoneers. Actually, it looks like they were reverted back to their native settlement stats for the Sudanese. No, not the Sudanese, the Somalians, yeah. Because I remember before they actually had crush damage like a sailor unit, and they were really painful to deal with, yeah. Now, their range is very powerful, 25 range. Quite good, actually. Quite good. You got a lot done with that. You know how good 25 range is? Like, that's definitely enough, I think, to handle artillery very effectively, which is what they're supposed to be used for, right? It's supposed to be really good against the artillery units. But they can also be good against ships because they have multipliers against boats as well. Yeah. Get some more spearmen. Get some more javelin riders too, yeah. Get some more of these. Get some Mechanicobias. Just make as much units as we can here. Make the most we can. Let's get a livestock market now, so we can start getting some market techs. We will put the livestock market up here, so we can start taking advantage of that. We need some berries. Very berry. Get a hut over here. Could use that. Cornucopias. Let's get some more of them. Also, what else do we got here? We got, we're allied to ourselves. Can you believe that? We're allied to ourselves. That's insane. How can you be allied to yourself? Well, you can with the Yoruba. Quite powerful, actually. Alright, let's get some more of you. Get some more cons. At this point, our army is very large indeed, and we can start throwing our weight around a bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to start moving over onto the Yoruba fields. We'll put these over here. Basically, these are bigger farms, right? As you know, with other African civs, you also have fields, but they're a lot smaller than this. The Yoruba fields can field a lot more villagers than other civs can on their farms, which makes them a lot more efficient. You know, it's not as much construction you have to worry about macro-wise. You just have to put down a few farms, and you're all set to go, depending on what age you're in, right? We will pick up another upgrade here to gathering, and we also get more infantry attack. Looks like enemy is attacking again, actually. So yeah, he just loves to attack us, doesn't he? Yeah, the AI kind of just doesn't know how to cope with these rhinos. It's so hilarious. The AI just doesn't know how to deal with these things. Like, literally. The AI is literally getting cooked by these things. Yeah, I mean, look at these Lafiti Knights. Like, our rhinos, they don't quite have the same HP, but boy, do they have the damage. I mean, these very tanky cavalry really can't stand up to these things. Not at all. Not at all. Take that out. There we go. Perfecto. Very easy lemon squeezy. Let's take out his training post so he stops coming over here too, because I think the reason why he keeps getting aggroed and coming over here is he wants to protect his trade route. So maybe if we wipe that out, he'll stop. He'll get discouraged and he won't come back again. There we go. No more trade site. That should help. And we'll deal with that right now. Yep. What else? Rhinos. What else can we make? We can make some of these too, right? Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, we're dominating right now, so it's not too much we have to worry about at this point. Let's get some more villagers. That's why I like infinite shipments. It's something you can recycle again and again and again. Something you can always reliably use. So we're making the most of that. Let's get our first farming technology here for food. And we should be in good shape for defense, yeah. Could get some ESO riders finally, yeah. Honestly, I want more javelin riders because the rhinos are really our bread and butter hand cav unit right now. We really don't need too much other than that. So I mostly want to make sure I'm using those. Here he comes again for another attack, and it's like, yeah, you don't even know what you're doing at this point. Canary guards. Yeah, we got total domination. See, this is what I meant. You know, when you're using the Yoruba Civ, you're always in control, basically. I mean, it doesn't mean you're going to win the game, because definitely I've done battles against Goimistan before as Yoruba, and though I did frighten him pretty good, I think, he still won, so yeah, it's not a guaranteed win. It's just really skilled. You know, it's a really skilled Civ that can do a lot of stuff, basically. Kind of funny, we already sent the 700 coin, but we're still in age 2. It's because we're focusing mostly on army massing. That's what this Civ really does well, is just massing up large armies of stuff and throwing it at the enemy. That's what they really specialize in here, pretty much. So if you like making big giant armies, Yoruba is really good for that. It'll definitely give you a good time overall. Yeah, the more villages you have working in the vicinity of these plazas, the more they'll trickle for you, the influence. So best thing you can do is just put a field around them and watch their trickle grow. Yeah. Probably should pick up the wrestling at some point so we can get the native SO riders to retain their HP. They unfortunately won't have, again, the same strong impact as our Home City card will. Our Home City card allows our ESO riders to retain all their HP, whereas the native tech, only about a quarter of the HP gets retained. Alright, so what now? Yeah, and funny thing too, the tech here in the native site affects wood, whereas the one in the card here will basically affect your farming, basically, so your food farming, as well as your berry farming too, in terms of gathering from berries pretty much, as well as the added heal effect as well. So it's always fun playing these African Age of the World civs, especially when they have their own reflective native site, because there is that overlap between the two pretty much. Yeah. Yep, looks like we're doing pretty well here. Let's see what all these Fulani archers. Fulani. Take care of that. Yeah, the AI is literally trying to kite off all these rhinos, and it's just not working too well. So I think we'll just back off a bit, regroup, regrow, and just grow some more units. Let's go to age 3 with the Homie. Then we can make the Amazons. Since they're an influence unit, they will not cost any population for us. They'll just add to the stack, as they say. Just allow us to mass up our group even bigger than it already is. Yeah, that's what makes this house of Civ a real fright to deal with, is just their ability to mass up large groups of stuff. Yeah. Look at all the stuff this AI is literally making to keep up with us, like, seriously. This AI is really trying to maintain this area as much as possible, basically, and it's really hard for him to do it. Yeah. Let's just back off, get some more units, keep up with our stuff. We don't want to lose too much stuff, I think. No. Also, we can turn some of these to coin and get the first upgrade for that, in fact. Now, eventually, once you get enough influence, it's good to get this African Orishas to allow all your influence costs to be cheaper, basically. So that's a really good thing to get. Because then you can basically spam the stuff out of the palace even easier than you already could, which is totally bonkers. Yeah, this lad is still attacking us, so we're going to give him Yoruba wrestling and then start getting use the riders out of that next. Yep, let's get this trading post now. Yeah, regardless of how high the AI scores, we're still maintaining a godly advantage over them, basically. Yeah. Let's get those crates there, yep. What now? We will probably start upgrading our siege units so we can get stronger rhinos. Also start upgrading everything we can here with the infantry. So then we'll start being able to train some skirmishers, yeah. Should be very powerful. Got one more plaza here to construct, we'll do that. Now we got some other good cards. We can get, let me see. What cards can we get? We can get the ivory carvings, which will improve our plazas at their base. Influence trickle, so it will not basically multiply the effect the villagers have on the building, rather just the base trickle of the plaza will be improved. So we'll get influence even easier then. Yeah. Now we got the Homie Amazons, and we'll be able to add those to our army as well. Those will be very powerful. Also, we can get, what else? Get some of the Iso Ikoyes. These are basically your Yoruba rifle riders, so good against muskets, good against cavalry, and good against artillery. A legendary unit indeed. So get some more houses. We're doing quite well right now. You can just play it slow and mellow, and you'll do quite well with the Civ. Get the upgrade here now. Yep. Could get the combat stuff going too. Yeah. Yeah, these rhinos, you know, very formidable unit. Like, the man's literally having to make mercenaries to try to deal with them. That's the point he's at right now. Literal mercenaries to deal with a bunch of Rhino Cavalry. And even they are, again, humbled by these things. Look at that splash, just working so well. Get some of the ones at the native site now, yeah. Let's get some of these skirms, yep. The oil hunters as well as the mounteds, yep. Get some more of these rhinos too. Let's get some huts back there, yeah. We haven't even gotten any architects, right? So let's start picking those up now. Get place of mines, we can get the hardened iron axes and get some more stuff next, yep. Some more rhinos. Here's our skirms. Now, this is interesting. They seem to have stats similar to the cannoneers. Ooh, interesting. Yeah. Very strange. So maybe that's, well, yeah, maybe that's something that's going to be changed down the line, yes? Yeah, seems like it. Alright, that's cool. Let's get another field. Right about here, probably. Get that going right there, yeah, okay. Can get one more chopping upgrade at least. Pick up selective logging. Now we can go up there and defend this site again. Akan cocoa beans. So yeah, that card we saw in the home city earlier was basically based off of this native tech too. So yeah, a lot of overlap there. Yeah, I'm just going to charge him so he doesn't try anything funny to my native site. Get him out of here. Then we can get some infinite shipments of our Isuakois, so the rifle riders. Yeah, we're just massing up so easily here. Now we can get huge armies to these Amazons to help us out. We can actually age up as ourselves now, yeah, the Yoruba. Yeah, basically. So for us, it basically does gives us Yoruba healers at the town center. It doesn't really give us any of our units because, well, we already have our units. We're really the Yoruba, so we don't need a Yoruba unit. So it'll just give you the ability to make these Yoruba healers at your town center. And these are the techs here, Yoruba twins. Each Yoruba native unit spawns a clone of itself. And Yoruba improvements in your unlocks. What's the other one? Yoruba wrestling. Short duration units keep 25% of their hit points and lose hit points at a slow rate. So, yeah, a lot of overlap there with that ability. I mean, literally, it seems like Yoruba are the WWE Civ of the African world. You know what I mean? Literally just wrestling. You know, getting in the arena and, you know, making a lot of money with each wrestling match. Yeah. Even though it's all staged. Well, I don't know if it's staged, but yeah, maybe it is staged. Who knows? Yeah. Look at that guy. Was he going through the buildings? Was he trying to clip through there? I don't know. That's an interesting question, actually. And so you could probably go over there and get me some coin, yeah. Let's get some more of these Amazons now. We're in really good shape right now, so there's not too much that can counter us at this point, yeah. And we'll probably go with Benin. Alright, let's deal with these. I will get some legionaries of my own. Yeah, this is quite an easy setup overall. Yeah. I'm not going to go for any full push until I'm totally maxed out with upgrades and mass and everything. Just for safety's sake. It's better to be safe than sorry against these AIs. Now we're going to get Benin. Get some combat. Actually, we could get some more eco stuff going now too, yeah. Also pick up the Blackwood trade. Get another hut for some pop. Yo, Yoruba. That's something I thought of when I was doing this recording was, why don't I introduce you with Yoruba instead of just Yoruba, because literally you have to say yo when you say Yoruba. Yeah, pretty interesting stuff. Now let's get a mass here and just take out these cabbies. Yep. You can make goats at the livestock pen as this if too, so just be aware of that. And your huts do upgrade their appearance as well through the ages too, so that's pretty fun. This is what the watchtower looks like. Alright, so what now? Do we have any wood? No, we do not have any wood. We barely have any wood, actually. It's one thing we definitely need. So, what now? Let's look at our plazas here for technologies that we might be able to use. Gunpowder troops gain increased damage to all their actions, so let's get some more cannoneers and some more skirms in that case, yep. And what else do we got here? Let's do this. This gives us coin trickle while we're working on farms. Now, we don't really need any of these other ones now, do we? No, I don't think so. Swing plow. And what do you get for Imperial Age? So, you get the Dutch. So you get the Dutch as an option. You can get bank wagons from the town center, as well as the ability to get these techs here. Villages can now cost coin, but overall less resources. And then Dutch envoys, it reveals all town centers in the area on the map for a short period of time. So basically it's sort of like using the Big Buddha with Japan, but only for the town centers, and you can only do it once basically. At least that's what it says. Yep, only once. Going once, going twice. Alright, what else we got? You can also pick up some of these upgrades, right, to our cav and stuff. What's the cost of this? Is this pretty yeah, they're It's pretty costly, so just be aware of that. Well, it's not really costly considering how much stuff you're upgrading with each go, but yeah, definitely be aware that you're gonna have to spend a bit of wood and coin if you want to upgrade one set of units together. Is that's the case with all the African civs in the 5th edition. Wars of Liberty was very different with the upgrades. You know, you would basically have upgrades for the hit points and then separate ones for the attack, and sometimes even separate ones for the unit siege and movement speed too. So it's definitely a very different upgrade system than we're used to in the Wars of Liberty way of doing things. But who knows? Maybe when we have the Africa rework in the future, maybe they'll adopt the more Age of the World / the 5th edition upgrade system for the units. Could be a very interesting strategy for them to do. Perhaps, yeah. Maybe. Let's get this. Get another hut there, right? Yeah, we're doing quite good now, yeah. Look at all the raiders he's trying to make. It's to no avail, though. Get some more of these. Get cola nut production now for some extra wood. Wood and good. Put those over there. Yeah, we're doing pretty good here, yeah. Dominating the enemy. Get the Dutch now. Get the rest of our pop, I think. Yep. Get this coin up here now. I think we'll just make some bank wagons and finish them off once we have the backup economy going. Here we go. Let's get our bank right there. How many banks can you get? 5. Wow, that's pretty good. Quite good, actually. Quite strong. Too bad they don't have the European capital tax. They could get 7 banks. That would put them at a really good advantage then. Oh yeah, you can queue up multiple ones too, like this. We'll queue up all 4 of them. So we can get the rest of the banks. Then for Imperial, it's going to cost about 2,000 of each resource. Put down the banks.
Ik ga, commando. Juist. Ja. Ik ga. Hallo. Ja.
Get one Sevastopol maybe. Get that poison going too. Start taking out that TC. There we go. Nice. That was a good one. What do you think? Very good? Oh yeah, I enjoyed that one. That was a very fun match. So, there we have it, folks, the Yoruba. If you're looking for a strong civ to dominate your opponents with in multiplayer, definitely use the Yoruba. Definitely. So, next time, maybe we could do another African civ, like maybe the Zulu or Egyptians. That could be fun. Anyways, this was Unstoppable Stiletsu doing an Age of the World civ overview, and see you on the next one. Sign off now.